Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the universal nation. Peace to the gods and the earths. Welcome to the universal temple of the sun, or rather say for the sun, planet, moon, and stars. I'm your host, Lord Messiah, your Lord of hosts, as I say, Lord Messiah. And today's topic, we're going to get into today's degree, which is who is the 10%. And I'm trying to make this short because it's already 11:24, and it's almost about to be the next day. It's going to be knowledge equality. So now it's knowledge power. But we break down today's mathematics, today's alphabet, and today's degree. Okay, so today's mathematics being knowledge power. The 15, today's the 15. So today's mathematics is knowledge power. So what is knowledge power? Knowledge is, of course, we know the foundation, originally the sun, and I mean the spark of all creation. Black man is the foundation of all life on the planet. You know what I mean? As the sun rises, providing light and energy for all things in the universe, the black man rises and, as we supposed to work, or produces during the day to provide for his family and for himself and provide substance. So therefore, we're not only just that, he's a man that's more than just provide. He protects, he guides. You know what I'm saying? He gives uh, instruction because knowledge is instruction, wisdom is direction. You know what I'm saying? So once you put the instructions, you know which direction or which way to go. Because wisdom is the way, and the way is direction. So wisdom is direction, instruction is knowledge. So the knowledge is the instruction. Once you get the instructions, now you can empower this. You know, so you have the knowledge. Like, what is power? Power is the ability. You know what I mean? You know how we say knowledge is power, but we know mathematically one is knowledge and five is power. One is not equal five. So we know is means equal. Equal means is. So knowledge is power. Knowledge is not equal power. But power is knowledge. How do you see the power of knowledge? See the power of knowledge through wisdom and understanding. You know what I mean? So when you, like for example, a man, you know, for example, a man standing alone is just a seven, but he has to have that moon and star to show him through. You know what I'm saying? That moon represents the two, which is wisdom, and the three is the star. The three is understanding, which is the star. So that two plus three equals what? Five, and that's power. So you see the power of knowledge through wisdom and understanding. So for example, you see a man, you see him shining by himself, you're like, okay, he's sharp, brother, you know, you can color thing, you know, you can. But when you see his wisdom and his understanding, his life of his children, you know, saying his orphans and his babies, then you see his power. You see what he's manifesting, you see what he brought forth, the universe he created, you know what I'm saying? And how we are with the seven, he holds all that together. You know what I'm saying? The sun and the star. You know, the moon holds in position with the sun. You know what I'm saying? The moon holds her position as the wisdom, and the star holds its position as the understanding, the beneficiary. And this is all a universal trust law. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go into it, you know, trust law. You know, the man is the knowledge, she is the executive. The woman is the wisdom, she's the trustee. And the child is the understanding or the beneficiary. The man and the woman put everything into the trust for the beneficiary or the benefit of the children. They are the heirs of the estate. And the estate is what? All the property that you own, whether it be real property, you know, tangible, you know what I'm saying, or it can be. All your property is held in trust and held and mentioned in your will. So my will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And Jesus told us in Luke 17:21, he told the disciples, the coming of the kingdom of heaven, so come seen with the king of the eyes. And I place him say here and there. Behold, for the kingdom of heaven is within you. So the kingdom of heaven is within you. So if it's within you, then that which is within you comes without, comes manifested on the outside. That's how so from the mental realm, it manifests to the physical realm. You know, I always say KRS-One, you know, I always quote from KRS-One, the teacher. He said the thoughts that you think are the thoughts that come into your environment. So, you know, even Jesus said, as a man thinketh, so is he. So it is your mind, the knowledge of your mind that shows and proves the power of your mind by how you bring things into existence through the wisdom of your power. I speak through the wisdom, through your wisdom and understanding, which shows and proves your power. And also when people acknowledge your culture, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna see the power as well. You know what I'm saying? You know, because you know, 1 and 4 equals 5. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge from culture, people can see the power. You know what I'm saying? They look at knowledge of it. You know what I'm saying? You know, what I mean, by knowledge from their culture, they know their power. And by knowledge, knowledge of about knowledge of your equality, they knowledge God. You know what I'm saying? Because the knowledge of equality brings people what? We were 5%, 4.8. We see that the children of God is the Son of Man. The spirit being the black man read. So then they're going to get the knowledge of God through the knowledge of equality through the Father. We're teaching about the knowledge of God. Letting you know that God is self. God starts with you, not outside of you. You know what I'm saying? It has to start within you. Because you are the source. You are the energy. You know, so now we're going to, you know what I'm saying? So let's move on. So now it's kind of, so basically when you acknowledge your own, you acknowledge your ability to create, your ability to influence, your ability to bring into existence uh, that which comes from, like I said, from your mental realm and manifesting into the physical realm. That's acknowledging your own. And creating a what? A cipher. Today's alphabet is O, which is cipher. And a cipher is a place of thing consisting of 360 degrees. So by you acknowledging your power, showing and proving your equality, you manifest a cipher. And the cipher consists of that universal equality because it's consistent with 360 degrees. 120 knowledge, 120 wisdom, 120 understanding, which is 120 man, 120 woman, 120 child. 360 degrees of the cycle of life. You know what I mean? That's why we say sun, moon, star, man, and woman, child. They're all based upon the universal principles of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So when we acknowledge our power, we're acknowledging, we're also, when we acknowledge our power, also manifesting the cycle. Because, like I said, we're showing putting equality. In cipher, you know, you break it down. CIPHER. You know what I mean? CI power her with the knowledge. And as she manifesting wisdom, her power like C because she brings the understanding. You know what I mean? By manifesting wisdom. So see or understand that my mind's eye empowers her. And in her power, I see. Or her power, my mind's eye sees. You know what I'm saying? Because I see her power. I acknowledge her power. You know what I'm saying? As you say, the earth power, attraction powers. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you first see that woman, you know what I'm saying? When you first see that black woman, you acknowledge her power, right? You know what I'm saying? So like you acknowledge her power, you acknowledge her attraction powers. You know what I mean? She had that power to draw you in to attract you. And as well, you have that power to attract her as well. And so you just gotta understand our equality and understand our position in the universe. So as the sun, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying like, you know, like as a son, like this, but I'm hearing brothers be like, man, I'm stop, she gonna leave. Yeah, I know, like, okay, but then when she comes, you freeze up, you don't know what to say. So that's because you're playing the position of the moon and you're waiting to be shined on. It's not how the man does. The man is the sun. So you gotta shine on her. Now what you gotta do is acknowledge her rotation. You gotta acknowledge how she moves. You gotta acknowledge her power, her attraction powers. Because she's gonna move physically in a way to position herself to be shining. So if you're acknowledging her power, you're acknowledging her wisdom, you see her movements, you're gonna know when it's the right time to wisdom is also time. You're gonna know when it's the right time to say what you gotta say. If you smooth like that, you know what I'm saying? If you know what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? If you're using your time and you're drawing up the situation, you're drawing out mentally before you even speak to a verbally. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it starts in the mind's eye. You know what I'm saying? It's a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a mental thing. God acknowledging each other. You know what I mean? In the mind. I see, you know, get eye contact, and say people that's not like they ain't looking. As soon as you stop looking for a minute, and we always want to stare like a really oh, she's so beautiful. Stop looking for a minute, you know? And just look away, look down, look away, like you're doing something, look at the phone. And then just give it a little minute and pop up. Boom, she's gonna be staring right in your face. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna catch her like, oh. She's gonna be like, oh, she's gonna be embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that's what it be though, man. So, you know, knowledge power, man, you know, so we gotta acknowledge the power of the earth as well, you know what I'm saying? And she has to believe that. So, you know, the queen, they say the king on the chessboard is the most vital, but the queen is the most powerful. While she's able to move the way she moves. You know what I'm saying? The queen moves all over the chessboard in any direction as far as she can go. You know what I'm saying? The king can only move one space at a time because the king is stationary more so, not completely stationary, but you know, he's in his position, you know, for a reason. And he's guarded by, you know what I'm saying, the universe, the planets and the stars, and moon. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's why I say that the universal temple, we are the universal temple for the sun, planets, forget about the planets, it's, you know, we say sun and star, the sun, planets, moon, and stars. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't gonna leave out our mothers and our grandmothers and our aunts and our sisters and our daughters, but they are planets. So knowledge them. The moon, we say, has no light, has no water, so there's no life on that planet. Our purpose, the moon purpose, is a reflection, or more so a refraction. You know what I'm saying? You know how we say the moon reflects the light of the sun? Scientifically, the moon refracts the light of the sun. You know what I'm saying? Because to reflect, um you know what I'm saying, the earth reflects some of the light, you know what I'm saying? In the sense that to reflect it, you have to absorb it and then release it. So the sun absorbs this, the earth absorbs the light of the sun and then releases it as heat. You know what I'm saying? Heat waves. You know what I'm saying? Giving off the heat after she absorbed and used the light. Then she releases that which she does not use. You know what I'm saying? The moon is so radiant and bright because it's not necessarily absorbing the light, it's refracting the light, meaning the light is like bouncing off of it. It's refracting, not reflecting. It's refracting. Look up the definition, refracting. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just a scientific tool for you right there, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so understanding that, you know what I mean? And you know, so going into today's degree, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, knowledge power, and you know what the cipher is. So, you know, today's degree in the 136, you know, do you mean to say that they are Muslim other than righteous? You know what I'm saying? And then now we probably I beg your pardon, I never heard of them. And then people say this supposed to be a conversation between the laws and the Quran. So let's just back up a little bit, right? If the law said his own self, what is his own? You got his own self. His own self is a righteous Muslim. Do you mean to say that they're Muslim other than righteous? Like he's Islam, you know, from wrong food Muhammad. He lied in 136. He's the contradiction. Contra means uh, against. Contradiction means words. So when you contradict yourself, it means you go against your mother. So he said, what is his own self? His own self is a righteous Muslim. Do you mean to say they're Muslims other than righteous? I beg your pardon. I've never heard of one. Oh, really? So Elijah was wise enough to ask him, and I God, you know what I mean? He said, how many Muslim sons are there in North America? A little over 3 million. Okay, how many original Muslims are there in North America? I mean, excuse me, pardon me. Um, how many, uh, how many original Muslims? You know what I'm saying? And we said a little over 17 million. Do you mean to say But going back, I messaged that degree said, do you mean to say someone Muslims other there are Muslims other than righteous? I beg your pardon, I've never heard of that. How many Muslim sons are there in North America? Approximately 3 million. How many original Muslims are there in North America? A little over 17 million. Do you mean to say that some of the 17 million do not know they are Muslims? Yes, sir. Now, did he just say, I beg your pardon, I've never heard of one? So when Elijah started to interrogate a little something, he wanted to know again. I'm like, oh, he says, how can you listen to Senator? Approximately 3 million. How many original Muslims? See, he's making a distinction between Muslim sons and original Muslims to figure out if there are Muslims other than righteous. Because as the lot would say, I beg your pardon, I never heard of one. But, yeah, I beg your pardon. Okay, I'm going to give you that pardon. But how many Muslim sons are there in North America? And he answered, approximately 3 million. Okay. Now, Muslim sons. Who are the Muslim sons? Do we have to go through the man degree and then run the four schemes to figure that out? Yes, we do, because that tells us that why did Muhammad make the devil say from 35 to 50 years ago? He calls up a Muslim son and wear the greatest and only flag known in the universe. And why must he wear the holy and greatest flag of the universe? Damn, wear the holy and greatest flag of the universe. Why does he have a sword to upper part of the holy flag? Why does he have a sword to upper part of the flag? You know what I'm saying? And you know when we go into and it says the Muslim sons, it says they must study 35 to 50 years before they can call themselves a Muslim son and wear the greatest and only flag known in the universe. So but they got to study from 35 to 50 years so that he can clean themselves, so they can clean themselves up. Why know how to make the devil study from 35 to 50 years before he can call himself a Muslim son? So he can clean himself up. Why does he have to clean himself up? Because obviously he's other than righteous. He's not righteous. He's other than righteous. And this is why he has to clean himself up. And he has to study from 35 to 50 years with the sword above his head. And keep in mind that anytime he reveals his secret, he has forgiven. His chance to come amongst us and clean his chance to clean himself up and come amongst us, his head will be taken by the sword. So understanding that, then you know that they've obviously given this chance of redemption and secrecy. Hence, you have the lodges and so forth, and you know, and going back to the 27th. So, you know, the Muslim sons are the ones that decided to 35 50 years for the points of, you know, where they can wear the whole and good side. You know. So, obviously, they were other religious. Like I said, so. Why would he say that? I beg your pardon, I never heard of that. And then turn right around in the next degree and say that approximately 3 million Muslim sons. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that makes for a contradiction. But people study the lessons faithfully. Now, see, God is happening. If you ever think you're going to turn around, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, how can you say you never heard of one? You know what I'm saying? I beg your pardon, I never heard of one. Do you mean to say that those other than righteous? I beg your pardon, I never heard of one. They just say, well, I was Muslim something and nothing like that. Oh, approximately 3 million. Really? They just say you never heard of one. How was I mean, approximately 3 million? You haven't, you know what I mean? 3 million? Really? That's a real forgetful, that's a real big pardon right there. You know what I'm saying? I can't pardon you 3 million Muslim sons who are obviously the ones who are other than righteous, and it's a lot of that study from 35 to the year before they can fall themselves in this. And obviously they are Muslim sons. So they are the ones who are other than righteous. The Muslim sons are obviously other than righteous. If they were righteous, they wouldn't have to study from 35 to 50 years. If they were original, they would be considered righteous. And and I had to go through that labor with a sword over their head. You know what I'm saying? So what did I tell you? So understanding these degrees, you go into them intricately and cross-reference. You know what I'm saying? Cross-reference these degrees, and you'll start to understand them, understand them, and overstand them. You know what I'm saying? Because if you stand understanding means to stand under. So if you stand under a teaching and you don't ever start to take it within and understand it, and then now you overstand it or stand over, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like a process of climbing the mountain. It's like, okay, I understand. I can climb that. Now, the understanding or the wisdom of that, the action of that, is to actually start climbing the mountain. That's the understanding. You know what I'm saying? Actually doing it. And then the overstanding is when you at the top of that mountain looking down on where you started. But you know what I'm saying? Now you can stand over the situation. You go now say, oh, that's like that I walk shit. All right, whatever. You call it whatever you want to call it. I didn't say that was today's mathematics. I'm just building on the science of understanding and overstanding as it evolves from understanding. You know what I'm saying? No understanding and overstanding is not in our mathematics. No, it's not. I'm not saying that I'm mixing anything. Right? That would be always in that. And pay attention. Listen. Are you listening? You know what I'm saying? We don't be listening. They just want to find one little thing, start nitpicking at. Start chopping all over that. You know what I'm saying? As if like you don't know how to build. The only way you know how to interject is in opposition to what someone says. More so than adding on. You know what I'm saying? Because when we say build means to add on, and if you refer that to construction, it's like when you're building a house, you're laying brick upon brick upon brick upon brick. That's how you build. You know what I'm saying? And knowledge the power of your cipher, right? Because if you got 120, then your cipher is not complete. You got to acknowledge the power of your cipher. We speaking of today's mathematics series alphabet. You got to acknowledge the power of your cipher. So I broke it down. I posted on Facebook. Last week sometime I put a picture of a foundation. Like if you see a house being built and the foundation is laying down there, you know what I'm saying? The foundation represents is like what you look like when you know 120, when you acknowledge 120 or when you have 123. You are a foundation. And you know what people say about a foundation, right? Even you, when you look past a building, right, and you see the foundation that's laying there, right? I can say building, excuse me, a foundation where there's gonna be something built there, and you just see the foundation laying there. You know what I'm saying? What wasn't one of the first things that came to your mind, like, oh wow, I wonder what they're gonna build there. You know what I'm saying? You might even inquire to know. You might even ask about, yo, what they building over there? Yo, they got that. I see a big foundation over there, and they cut down some trees and stuff over there on the corner of Circus. What they gonna build over there? You know, what they gonna build a new gym over there or something, or a new yard area, or stuff like that, and or something like that. Yeah, that's the stuff. That's the stuff. That's sweet. So you know what I'm saying? People want to know what's gonna be built on the foundation. So as a nation, right, or as those of us who have 120 degrees of knowledge, people are looking at us like, okay, y'all got 120 degrees of knowledge. I wonder what y'all gonna build with it. You know what I'm saying? I wonder what y'all gonna do with it. You know what I mean? Because for many years, a lot of brothers been content with just having the knowledge. And like, nah, bro, it's a whole lot more. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take this knowledge and start doing something with it and start bringing something into fruition. So like I'm saying, so I put the picture of the foundation down there, and I said, that's what you look like when you knowledge 120. People want to know what you're going to build on the foundation. And the next picture I put there, I had they showed like a bunch of wood beams on top of the foundation, and it showed how they was actually starting to build, to construct the framing and everything of the house. And I said that's when you're applying mathematics, alphabet, and putting it in motion. You know what I mean? Um, that's when you begin to that's when you begin to give it up. Another after that, I was supposed to explain in Greek book. Yeah, so yeah, please, y'all. Yeah, I'll be back in the building. I had just added this on actually because I'm actually in the Universal Temple right now. And I said, let me put this on for for the Facebook and all that because I know that I was supposed to do this again. So anyway, yeah, so I was building on today's mathematics, today's alphabet, and today's degree. And just to catch y'all up a little something, I was going in on how, today's mathematics be a knowledge power. You know what I'm saying? You have to knowledge your own power, you have to knowledge the power of the earth as well. That's how it's happening. And the knowledge and power you manifest the power as in the cipher. You know what I'm saying? In the cipher, it's 360 degrees. You know what I mean? Person thing, equal in 360 degrees. So basically, like I said, we have the knowledge of power, and the knowledge of this power you see and show through your requirement. So with that, we know and understand that we know and understand that mathematics is the foundation. You know what I mean? And the alphabet we add on to. So like I was saying, we have to knowledge the power of our cipher. You know what I mean? And when you knowledge the power of your cipher, you know what I mean, you'll realize that 120 degrees is 120 degrees. It's a foundation. So like I was mentioning, you can see like how we have a foundation laid on the ground, right? And most people would say, oh, hey, I wonder what they're gonna build on that. You know what I'm saying? Because people, they want to know what's going to be built and see the foundation. So it's the same thing, with those who have 120 degrees of knowledge. If we say we have 120 degrees of knowledge, people want to know, like, okay, well, they got 120 degrees of knowledge. I wonder what they're going to build with that. I wonder what they're going to do with that knowledge they have. You know what I'm saying? So the science is that having 120 degrees is not it. You have more to do. You have to keep building and adding on. Meaning, you know what I mean? As you're adding on, you're developing and going into the wisdom. Like I was saying, 120. That's 1, 2. You know what I'm saying? Which is 3 plus 0 is 3. Which is what I'm saying. So 120 is going to give you understanding. You know what I mean? And that understanding has to show and prove that it's adding on to equality and from equality to there. Meaning in stages of 3, meaning 120, 120, 120, and 120 broken down to 3, so that's 3 plus 3 plus 3, which is 9, which is there. 360 degrees is 3 plus 6 plus 0, which is 9. So the cycle is a representation of knowledge being born, 1 through 9. You know what I mean? So, like I said, go back to knowledge power. When you knowledge power, you're a cycle. So after you have that foundation, then you got to add on to it. So like I said, I showed the picture of the foundation. I showed the picture of the wooden beams, and then added on and showing how they actually start to construct the building, construct the house or whatever they're building. And I said that's when you're applying mathematics, alphabet, and you're actually applying, this in life, and you're using it, and you're showing improvement. You know what I mean? You're experimenting with it. You know what I mean? And demonstrating with it. So now, then I showed a picture of a fully built house. And I said, that's when you understand the culture and you're living it out. You know what I mean? Because now people can see the fruition of what it is that you brought into existence from those 120 degrees that you were founded upon. You know what I mean? That the house stood upon, or whatever you were building was based upon. You know what I mean? So we gotta understand. It's a foundation. You know what I mean? It's a base. You know what I mean? So due to that, so now go back to you know getting into today's debate because I was supposed to bring it down to that. You know, so y'all women. Anyway, back to the matter. Going into the knowledge power degree in the 136. You know, do you mean to say that I'm other than righteous? I beg your pardon, I've never heard of one. You know what I mean? He answered not inquiring degree. I beg your pardon, I've never heard of one. But like I said, if you go in further into the degree, he goes into the next degree, says, so how many Muslim sons are there in North America? And Farrar says a little over, approximately 3 million. So we're going to the born degree because we got a cross reference. Born degree in the 114. So you that the Muslim sons are those who have studied for 35 to 50 years before they can call themselves Muslim sons. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was because so they can clean themselves up. Why do they condemn study for 35 to 50 years before they can call themselves a Muslim son and very great and every flag man in the universe? A lot of them see the swords that are the part of the greatest and every flag to the greatest and to the holy and greatest universal flag in Islam. You know, and it says so he can clean himself up. A Muslim is not what he does regardless of how long he has studied. After he has gone through this life for 35, 50 years, he is permitted to come amongst us and be traded. And by going through this, by being devoted to the service for 35, 50 years, we can make him for our holy flag, which is the sun, moon, and star. And then it's like a sword to the part of the flag. The sword is the emblem of justice being used by Muhammad and used by the original man, Muhammad's time. That's the place in the fast that is delicate and receive and keep in mind sometimes he gets a secret which we have given him, the chance to come amongst and screw himself up instead of taking out a sword. Okay. Universe is everything. Sun, moon, and star, they are planets. Planets is something that was made again from the beginning. So, you know, understanding that being that they were the ones who had to clean themselves up, they are the Muslim states, you know what I'm saying? Which are approximately 3 million. So, you know, that's a contradiction. You gotta acknowledge that. You gotta acknowledge that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Not to take anything off face value. You in the lessons. You know what I'm saying? As far as quoting them, and you just quoting something that you didn't even teach. You just been quoting the lesson so long and didn't even realize, oh, wait a minute. There was inconsistency. How did he just say that he never heard of one and then turn around and say, right in the next degree, or the next 2 degrees, approximately 3 million. Anyway, next, knowledge power degree in the 1 to 40. And knowledge and culture cycle. Who is the 10%? Answer. The 10% is the rich, slave makers of the poor, those who teach the poor lies to make the people believe that the almighty true and living God is a spook in the sky, otherwise known as bloodsuckers of the poor. Okay? So now most people will just like jump up and they'll start running to like, oh, see, that's the preachers and the pastors and you know, and no, they're teaching 10%, they're teaching the poor lies. You know what I'm saying? Now facts, according to that definition, yes, God will be there. But it's not only just the ones teaching that the Almighty true living God is a spook in the sky. It says the ones who the rich, the slave makers of the poor, who teach the poor lies. Anybody who's teaching the poor lies is the 10%. And why do they teach the poor lies? So that they can make slaves out of the poor. So if you listen to somebody's lies every day, somebody telling you something every day and you don't see the fruition of it, and they just telling you this stuff, and you just keep listening and you keep listening, and you don't see it to be true. You know what I'm saying? Somebody keep telling you some man gonna come to save you out of the sky, but you don't never see this to be true. They keep telling you to hold on and wait and hold on and it's coming and he's on the way and just have faith and you gotta believe and but you still never see no good. You know how long, man, we've been doing this, man. You know how long people have been praying and all of that to whoever, Allah, Buddha, Jehovah, Jesus, whoever. All this praying, and nothing ever happened. All this miraculous stuff that we been told is supposed to happen and never happened, except for written in these holy books, so-called holy books. And the word holy means not mixed out. I say holy, so-called holy books because the word holy, as we know, means not mixed, diluted, or tampered with in any form. Once you mix, dilute, and tamper something, it's no longer holy. So, Holy Bible, King James Version. King James what? A version? If you're telling me this is a version, that means that it's not the original text. It's not what the original book said. It's something else. It's not original. So if it's not the original text, how can it be holy? If this man obviously took out certain books, added certain things, made certain things, say this, say that, oh, you forgot to take that shit out. Oh, what? This is spoken of in the book of Jasher. Well, I'm looking through the Bible, where's the book of Jasher? And in another verse, they say this is spoken of in the book of the War of the Gods. Well, I'm looking through the Bible, where's the book of the War of the Gods? It's not in there. So how is the Bible referring to books that are not even in the Bible? The King James overlooked that part and be like, oh shit, damn, I forgot to take that out. Damn. Oh man. Because that obviously tells you that there's some book of Jasher and a book of the War of the Gods that's out there somewhere. Where are these books at? How come those books are not in the 66 books of the Bible? How come not 68 books? Since they mentioned 2 more, and there's probably other stuff they mentioned too. I just know of those 2 verses. You know what I mean? But so that just goes to show you. So anyway, this is what now it's knowledge, wisdom. It's going into the next day, knowledge, equality. But I'm still building on the knowledge, power degree. You know what I'm saying? Because this is going off of knowledge, power. You know what I mean? So we're building on who's the 10%. So like I said, it goes beyond just what, or like I say, I'm gonna go beyond just what's written in the degree. Like I say, I'm gonna expound upon. I'm not gonna add or take away. I'm gonna expound upon this my understanding of the foundation based in the lesson. So the lesson says the rich, the slave makers of the poor, those who teach the poor lies. Pause. Now, some teach the poor lies to make the people believe that Almighty children of God is the speaker of the sky. Otherwise known as blessed as a book. So, and some people just teach the poor lies for multiple reasons. So, like I said, I'm going to expound. So, the 10% is not just the preacher in the church, you know, Reverend Hamhart and Pastor Pork Chop, you know, and Reverend Hamhart, you know what I'm saying? It ain't just him. The 10% can be anybody. So you got to keep your eyes open. 10% can be anybody. Anybody trying to get over on you, anybody trying to blood suck you for something, anybody trying to, you know, get something for nothing, you know what I'm saying, is being a blood sucker. They're trying to blood suck you of your money, your time, your energy, you know, whatever it may be, your attention, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it may be. You know what I mean? They want to blood suck. You know what I'm saying? People see you about to make a move and then they start talking to you about some random dumb shit. And you don't even talk to you like that. I used to be about to talk to this female. Now all this shit, oh, yo, what's up, Messiah? Yo, yeah, man. They don't even talk to me, man. You know what I'm saying? But you see me about to make a move, so you knowledge in my power, and you want to try to interrupt my social equality. Instead of acknowledging my power and dealing in equality and being humble and giving me my space, 6 feet, right? Social distance, right? Social equality, social distance, 6 feet, right? You know what I'm saying? Give me my fucking 6 feet, my nigga, and just sit back and acknowledge the power. And then maybe you can learn something, and then you can know how to talk to the female the way I do. You know what I'm saying? Acknowledge my wisdom. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you'll understand something. Stop hating. Stop getting emotional. You know what I'm saying? And be the knowledge. Knowledge the power. It's knowledge the power. Don't hate on the power. Knowledge the power. Because the same power that's in me is the same power in you. So instead of you getting so emotionally weak, so quick to hate, Man, this knowledge is power, man, and dealing power. And in my 60, and then, like I said, you may be able to learn something. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge and power of my cipher. And the cipher is a perfect place of thing consisting of 360 degrees. So when you see me being that said person of that ability, you know what I mean? Because obviously, if you were the said person of that ability, you would have had the ability to say something, but you didn't say nothing. Now you're sitting here watching me as I speak to the female, try to interrupt me as I speak to the female. You know what I'm saying? Why? 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 You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so you know, that's the 10%. Because now you trying to blood suck, man. You trying to take away my shine. You trying to block my shine. You're being like a cloud. I would say the cloud and the behind the sun represents, the white in the back of the cloud represents deception. The 10% represents the clouds of deception. You know what I'm saying? So as a sun, we gotta shine through the clouds of deception. We gotta expose all of this fake and fraudulent behavior, all this bloodsucker mentality and bloodsucker behavior that motherfuckers be doing. Because if not, the people ain't gonna acknowledge their own power because they acknowledge somebody else's so-called power and listening to all these lies that they telling them and not realizing the same shit you being told you would do for your motherfucking self. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you being all an idol worshiper, stop worshiping the 10%. Stop idol worshiping them. You know what I'm saying? So what Brother Polite has it, and I'm not hating on Brother Polite, but I'm just using it as an example how people be worshiping men, they be worshiping men as idols. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I mentioned that too because I was partially guilty of that before. You know what I'm saying? Idolizing this man, like, he got 3 beautiful wives, he's doing his thing, he's building his own community, he's da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then come to find out, he also got some twin plan, other stuff going on, but, whatever, that's it. But, you're 10%. I'm just keeping it real, once again. Those who teach the poor lies. So, now it's this. And the science is that, see, the 10% is out for their own personal gain. They out for their own personal gain. They out to benefit themselves and not the people. You know what I'm saying? So this is why all your politicians, all your so-called leaders, all your this and that, they sell you out for the profits. You know what I'm saying? For the under the money table. You know what I'm saying? And all of that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Because their heart and their mind is not really for the people. So you be idol worshiping them because of their words. They come out with all these fancy words, and you be like, "Oh, that sounds good." Oh, he said when he gets in office, he's gonna do this, and he's gonna do that, and he's gonna change this, and he's gonna change that. Yeah, and it sounds good. It sounds good. Dr. Booty Injection said, "Hey, come to my shop. I could turn your skinny little waist into a big badookadoo." You know what I'm saying? But he didn't tell you that this shit I'm shooting up in your ass is harmful to you. And you might be coming back 6 months later to a year later having me squeeze this fucking shit out of you because the shit is irritating you and fucking probably giving you cancer inside. You know what I'm saying? Among whatever it does. You know what I'm saying? So, but they don't tell you that. Oh, they tell you, come and get this prescription. Because this prescription is going to make you feel better. Meanwhile, the prescription gives you 22 other side effects. And then when you get those side effects, now you come to him with the same side effects. Now he's like, oh, take this for that and take this for that. And now you got 50,000 more damn prescriptions. And now you see these people sitting up there, they got a whole damn tray of like fucking 20 damn prescriptions. And you see people sitting there taking all these things. Oh, I got to take like fucking 4 or 5 damn pills. At one time, they got to take all these pills. Oh, this is for such and such. This one is for this one is for, you know what I mean? And another, it's not helping to take all that shit at one time. You should have that shit on a timer or whatever if you are even doing it. And I've been telling people it's not medical advice, it's my opinion. I've been saying, and I'll put it like this, I'll say it hypothetically. If I were to have to take medication, I wouldn't take the full dosage of whatever they're telling me to take. Know why? Because believe, not even believe, know and understand that the doses they telling you to take, whatever, before you see them again, is just enough to make you addicted. So whatever they telling you, take 2 of these a day. No, take 1 of these a day. Or break that damn pill in half and take a half a pill a day. And then you see how it affects your body before you just take the dose he told you to take. You fuck around and get high. And you might even like the feeling and shit. You might be like, yo, I don't know, man, but whatever he gave you, that shit had me in cloud nine. I be hearing people talking about taking oxycodons and Percocets and all this other shit or whatever. Motherfuckers be trying to get them shit on the street and all that. Why? Because the 10% pharmaceutical industry is one of the big billion-trillion-dollar industry. You know what I'm saying? They're making money off these pharmaceutical drugs. You know what I'm saying? So, you can't sell crack on the corner. That's illegal. But the doctor, first of all, let's see how it's all connected. The teacher can see your child in school being hyperactive and say, oh, your child needs Ritalin, or your child needs whatever. And then send him to the nurse. The nurse can evaluate your child without your permission a lot of times. Or they might ask you for your permission, and you being unaware, not knowing that, you can deny that evaluation. And you very much so should deny that evaluation. Because if you take that, if you allow that evaluation, 9 out of 10 times they're going to say little Raheem or little Jamal has ADHD, or he has such and such, or whatever kind of mental whatever illness that they say he has. And now CPS and the medical and they were teachers and doctors, they all get involved. And now they're all concerned for Raheem. And they're all just looking out for the best interests of the child. Because that's the game they run. Don't you know that word interest is an economic term meaning proceeds, benefits, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what they talk about, interest. Best interest. But they try to make it seem like, oh, the best welfare of the child. No. That's their interest, business interest in your child. It ain't about the health of your child and none of that. So anyway, they prescribe that medication for your child, now your child's taking that. And the thing is now, they try to get you, like I said now, medical neglect. Because if you now deny, because now once you voluntarily accept an evaluation, they're gonna say there's something wrong with your child. And then when they say something wrong with your child and they say, oh, he needs to take such and such medication, and you say, no, my child's not taking this. This shit got 32 side effects. I don't know, my child's not taking this. Some people gonna come and lock your ass up for child and medical neglect. You're medically neglecting your child now. See the game they run? This is the game, y'all, so be aware of that. And I'm pretty sure y'all heard Dr. Umar Johnson break all this shit down, so I'm always reiterating things I learned, you know what I'm saying? So, this is becoming, it should be common knowledge now in the Black. You should know in any community. That's what I mean. Like I said, we know the system does focus on Black children, but they're doing this to all children. Black, white, Asian, Caucasian, no matter whatever. You know what I'm saying? They will get your child. They will get your child hooked on some damn drug and make your child a patient. Okay? Now, people perish due to lack of knowledge. Not to, you know what I'm saying, the harmful things out there, but the knowledge or the lack of knowledge and know-how to stay away from stuff. Stay away from the fast food. McDonald's ain't telling you that this shit is killing you. McDonald's ain't telling you that, I thought the fly, I used to say, the only thing I use for McDonald's is the flies. Come to find out, that's the worst fucking thing on the menu. You know what I'm saying? You ever see that movie Super Size? It's a documentary called Super Size. Super Size Me. And Super Size Me Part 2. And this dude, he basically did a documentary where he was breaking down how he was eating McDonald's for like a month or 2 months straight or whatever, and how much he had gained back weight and all of that. And I don't know if it's the same dude that sued McDonald's, whatever, but I think he ended up suing McDonald's on how, it was unhealthy food and this, that, and the third, and and all of that. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? But they did an experiment in that documentary, Super Size Me, where they took like a regular cooked hamburger that you cook at home with regular ground beef or whatever, so-called regular ground beef. And I say so-called because that shit ain't even real beef. We have the beef, okay. That shit ain't even real beef. It's all mixed in with a whole bunch of read your ingredients, y'all. My fucking girl gonna bring some shit in this house, some beef sausages. I don't know how to do the knowledge. So I sit there and I'll go in the room and I show her this shit. I'm like, yo, did you read the back of this shit? See, you're not reading shit. It say beef right here, but go down. Look what this says. Pork casings, meaning that little shit that they case the sausages in, the beef, so-called beef sausages in, that shit is made out of pig, usually pig intestines. So you eating fucking chitlin sausages. Duh. Talking that it's beef, it's beef. No, it's beef to the face value. Like they say, 85% take things on face value. You know what I'm saying? You gotta start thinking intelligently. Stop thinking like a savage, just so quick to eat something and not doing the knowledge of what you're eating. Because yeah, they're gonna say big bold letters on the front, beef. But turn it around in small letters, it says pork. You gotta acknowledge your power. Use your mind. And stop being lazy. You know what I'm saying? Stop being a slave to a mental death and power. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, the 85% of slaves to a mental death and power. Stop being a slave to a mental death and power and knowledge your power. See what I'm saying? Ooh, and that's so deep. The last degree, knowledge culture degree. Who is 85%? So it says part after degree says that 85% is a slave to mental death and power. You know what I'm saying? And then the next degree is knowledge power. So if you're a slave to a mental death and power, then you will never acknowledge your power, and you will definitely never acknowledge your equality so that you can build as God. So, you know what I mean? You got to acknowledge your power. You got to acknowledge your mind, your body, acknowledge your abilities, what you're able to do with your mind and your body. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, I walk by faith. It's everything by the Spirit of God. Okay, do you know what spirit is? Let's break that down. The root word of spirit is the Latin word spira or spira, which means breath, as in the respiratory system, the respiratory system. Re means to do again, spira is breath, and tori is the function of. So the respiratory system is the system of recycling breath. And that's all you're doing as you breathe in and out is your recycling breath. The respiratory system, the respiratory system. Spira means breath, which is the Latin word meaning breath, which is the root word of spirit. So when you say Holy Spirit, that means holy breath. Genesis 2:7, doesn't it say, in the Lord God formed man of the dust of the earth, meaning you know you came from the earth, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. What is soul? Soul is the root of spirit. Soul is the actual chakra. The soul, the sun, the solar, the star, or stars that are actually in your body. You know what I'm saying? You have stars in your body, literally. You know what I mean? Known as chakras. You know what I mean? And perfect example, the solar plexus. Let's deal with the fire chakra. Now we know what does it take for a fire to burn? Oxygen, right? And what does a fire give off when it emits that black, smoke and all that? It's called carbon. What do you breathe? What happens when you breathe in? What do you breathe in? You breathe in oxygen, right? You breathe in oxygen. And guess what? When you breathe out that oxygen, and you breathe out what's called carbon dioxide, meaning when you intake the oxygen, your solar plexus, which is a star burning inside of you, converts. When it goes into your lungs, it's right there by your solar plexus. And the heat of your solar plexus, which is the heat of your body, 97.1 degrees, you know what I'm saying? Hot 97, like the music station, Hot 97. And 97 is the temperature of your body, and the symbol of Hot 97 is the sun. They got the sun as their symbol because they know 97, that's the temperature of your body. That's because of the sun that's inside of you. When you go outside and it's cold outside, your temperature drops, right? Because you get cold, your temperature drops. I mean, come on, it's basic science. So anyway, when you breathe out carbon dioxide. So if you breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon, What is inside of you that's causing the transformation of the oxygen into carbon? That fire burning inside of you, known as your solar plexus. You know, when you see that picture of Jesus and he's going like this, and he has like the heart, and it shows the fire burning. You know what I'm saying? That's showing you the solar plexus right below the heart chakra. You know what I'm saying? And he's saying like he throwing up the peace sign. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is at peace. You know what I'm saying? Everything is copacetic. Everything is chakras is balanced. Everything is aligned. You know what I'm saying? And remember, he told you in Luke 17:21, for the kingdom of heaven is within you. So that's what he was telling you, man. Your chakra system, that's the kingdom of heaven. And it's, how they say, 7 levels of heaven, right? That's your 7 major chakras, 2 in the head, 5 going along the spine, 5 in the body. 7 heaven, 7 heaven, 7 heaven. You know what I'm saying? So that's that 7th heaven. You know what I'm saying? What y'all know about that 7th heaven? Right there inside of you. Not up in the sky when you die. Because like I keep telling people, man, people be talking about these scriptures, man, but did y'all skip over when it said God is the God of the living, not the God of the dead? Did y'all skip over that? Y'all missed that in Sunday school, right? Y'all missed that? And the preacher was up there hooping and hollering, and God is the God of the living. I'm talking about the living God. God is the God of the living, not the God of the dead. But then he turned around and tell you in the next sermon, or probably later on in the same sermon, but when you die, you're going to go to heaven and be with the Father who art in heaven, and da 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 da. What are you talking about, Pastor Pork Chop? Then you just tell us in Luke 17:21 that the kingdom of heaven is within you, and had us in here hooping and hollering, feeling all good, or with that feel good information, 10%ing the people. Because once again, now who is the 10%? Oh, the 10%, the rich, the slave makers of the poor. Those who teach the poor lies to make the people believe. The root word of believe, B-E-L-I-E, be-lie. And actually the root word, be-lie, B-E-L-L-I-E, be-lie. On the B-E-L-I-E, be-lie. Be-lie means to accept as true without proof or evidence. You know what I'm saying? Believe. To believe means to accept as true without proof or evidence. Like if I told you right now, y'all, I got $10 million in the bank, y'all, I'm a millionaire. You'd be like, yeah, right, man, you ain't got no $10 million, man. Stop lying, man. You get out of here, man. You know, God, if you say you God is not a man and he should lie, right? So anyway, so they're like, man, you lying. I'm like, man, what you talking about, man? Look, they're gonna be like, man, let me see a bank stuff. Show me a bank statement or something, man. Show proof, right? You got to show proof, right? You know, people gonna want proof, right? So if I can't go online and pull up my bank statement that says you have $10 million and 55 cents in your bank account, then goddamn it, I don't have the proof behind my words. That means that I'm just telling you something that sounds good, maybe to get your attention. I'm telling you I have all this money. I'm telling you I have luxurious things. I'm telling you I have all these nice things. I have cars. I have jewelry. I have all these great things that everybody would want, right? To entice the temptation, right, of your wants, right? But meanwhile, you don't never see me with any of these things I say I have. But it sounds good, right? And if you are poor, if you're poor and you don't have anything, then you might actually even believe me without me even giving you proof of these things. You know what I'm saying? So this is why the 85% get manipulated all the time. They keep on coming back to church, listening to the pastor because he got a nice car, he got a nice house, he got a beautiful wife. Oh, look at the kids, they're just so nice. Oh, they look like they got a lovely home. Oh, he look like, he's a man of God. He's following the word of God. See, he's a blessed man. Oh, see, that's right, man. That's right. Praise on. That's right. Bless that brother. No, that's the 10%. The rich, the slave makers of the poor, who teach the poor lies. That's you. The so-called 85%, slaves of a mental death and power, not knowing who the true and living God is, nor your origin in this world. So you worship what you know not, and are easily led in the wrong direction, but hard to be led into the right. So 85%, they say the 85% is uncivilized people, poison animal eaters, slaves of a mental death and power. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're eating swine, those trichinosis worms is getting in your system. They get into your system through the nerve system, through the ganglia. You know what I'm saying? The ganglia is like the tissue, the nerve tissue that connects, all the nerves. It's called ganglia. These microscopic worms travel through this. And what's the major, and they travel through the electricity, through the synapses of your cells, literally. And how do they do this? They travel through the synaptic wave through what's called ganglia. So now, and they do this, they get into your system and they attach, they travel straight to your spine. The spine is where the central lane of energy is flowing right up your spine. You got your double helix and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Double day. And you got all that kundalini energy and all of that traveling up the spine. So that is radiating mad energy up your spine. And then the spine and the back of the head is connected to what's called the forum or the central nerve system. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you plug a plug into the wall. That's how your spine plugs into your brain. You know what I'm saying? And that's called the central nerve system. And that exact point where it connects is called foramen. 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 Now, what you call it said, my school teacher said, oh, it means foramen. And I was in my mind, I broke it down phonetically. I said, no, it means foramen. Because we know Amun, as in Amun Ra, the word Amun means hidden light. You know what I'm saying? So that forum or foramen, where your spine and your brain connect, called the central nervous system, that's foramen. That's for the hidden light, which is the light traveling, the electric current traveling in your spine to connect to your brain. You know what I'm saying? It's called the foramen, or foramen. You know what I mean? Facts. You know what I'm saying? That's a scientific jewel for you right there. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but yeah, that's what it is, man. That's the science, man. And you got to go through things. Like I said, breaking down 10%. So yeah, like I said, I ain't gonna drag it out too long. We're already been going an hour now. So like I said, who's the 10%? 10% is the rich slave niggas before. Anybody that's trying to get over on you, anybody trying to blood suck you, anybody that's trying to, like I said, and like say for example, right, a drug dealer. Now, some are not so wicked in the heart. You know what I'm saying? They don't have like the evil intention, because remember, some people sell drugs, but at the same time, they take care of their whole families and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they may be the individual that makes a sacrifice to put sin on their soul for the greater good of others. You know what I'm saying? So I don't look at everybody that does something negative as them themselves being a negative person. You know what I'm saying? Or a negative individual, because you may be in a negative situation or had to do negative things because of the situation or the time or the circumstance that confronted you in life. Because life has some really hard times. You know what I'm saying? As to where you can't always do the righteous thing. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you just may be in a situation where you have to do something that goes against your morals and your standards. You know what I'm saying? That's where you may have to contradict your word. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that. So I'm not going to be so judgmental. That's why I'm saying, you can't judge a book by its cover. You got to read into the pages of a person to know what they're really going through before you just be like, oh, nah. You know what I'm saying? And we do that. I do that. We all done it. We all prejudge. You know what I'm saying? But we got to learn to stop being so prejudgmental, because, like I say, we got to read into the pages of a person to really know. So then, like I said, it don't. I know how to read. I know how to read. I'm a very good judge of character. I know how to read into the pages of a person without just judging the cover. You know what I'm saying? And my third eye is open like that. So like I was saying, knowledge power. A person who makes a heaven for themselves at the expense of other people's health is a devil. I'll say it again. Those who make a heaven for themselves at the expense of other people's health is a devil. Meaning, like, if you're selling drugs or you're selling crack to a pregnant woman, you know this woman is pregnant, about to give birth to a baby, but you still selling crack to her because all you care about is your profit. And you don't even care. The whole 9 months this woman been pregnant, you've been selling her crack. And she's been basically giving birth to a crack baby now. And you contributed to that. You are now making profit off of this woman, whether she's willingly doing it herself too. You supposed to have, how like back in the days, like drug dealers, even the strangers it sounds, drug dealers used to have morals. They used to have standards and codes. And you think like, nah, you don't sell to pregnant women. You know what I'm saying? We don't sell to kids. You know what I'm saying? We don't post up on a school block in a school zone and sell drugs. We're gonna try to at least be somewhat righteous with this negativity we doing. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was hypocritical, but it was better for them to do that than to be just so loose and careless how they doing it today. You know what I'm saying? So, so that's why I say, so now let me get into what I call the positive and the negative side of the 10%. Because like there are some positive 10%. You know what I'm saying? And what do I mean by that? What do you mean positive 10%? How does it get positive 10%? I'm shit that now. It's like, what I mean by that, and like I say, it is an oxymoron. It is oxymoronic, but I'm gonna give you an understanding of what I mean so you can understand. A positive 10% is like, okay, we know that this person is making a profit for themselves. Like, say, for example, I ain't gonna say no names, but let's just say there's somebody at the parliament, right? Or somebody at a church or some kind of gathering. They may be selling ornaments or shirts or whatever, or something that has the organization's logo on it or whatever the case may be. Now, this particular person may not even be a person who's really about the culture or really into the lessons or the teachings like that, but yet they're profiting themselves from selling these flags or selling these shirts or selling these whatever. Now, the reason why I say it's a positive 10% because, like I say, you're not really about the culture, but you're profiting off of the culture. So that's why I say you're blood sucking the people just to make a profit for yourself. You're blood sucking the poor righteous teachers to get a profit for yourself. But like I say, you're not really adding on to this nation in any other way but how you can make money. And if it ain't, and then you got the brothers too that's all about money. Like they won't even come to a parliament because, oh, I gotta make this money. Oh, I gotta make this money. You always talk about money. If money is so important and you making so much money, like damn, you ain't making enough money to where you could take a day off and not be a slave to your job. You know what I'm saying? Because we're supposed to be lords, we're supposed to be kings and masters. We ain't supposed to be a slave to nothing. We're supposed to be rulers, you know what I'm saying, over all. We ain't supposed to be a slave to anything. So if you can't even take off a day to come and unify with your nation, because every single day, 24/7, 365, you gotta make money. And it's like, what is your life revolving around? Is your life revolving around God? Is it revolving around money? You know, they say that the love of money is the root of all evil, and the root of all evil is who? The devil. So is your life revolving around God, or is your life revolving around the devil on that goddamn dollar bill? That's something to really think about. See what I'm saying? So anyway, a man makes money. Money don't make a man. You know what I'm saying? A man makes money. Money don't make a man. So all that, brothers be preoccupied with making money. Man, if you that preoccupied with making money, you don't never have no time for nothing else, but you just gotta make money. And it's like, how much money are you really making, man? Like, damn, like shit, you should be making enough money where at least you can have one day off. at least 1 day off. Take a day off. Take 2 days off. Take a vacation. Damn, you ain't got enough money so you can take a vacation. You just gotta be a slave. So are you really free? See, that's what I'm saying. And people be acting like cash is king, cash is no, it's not. Money does not rule, cash does not rule everything around me. You know what I'm saying? Because I get the money. The money don't get me. I'm not the hamster on the wheel running for the money. Running for the money. And guess what? You ain't even getting no damn where. And even if, and let's just say, every time you run this thing, money is just falling down. Guess what? You could never even jump off this wheel to enjoy the money. So what the fuck is the point of the hamster running on the goddamn wheel for the money? You can't even ever get off the wheel to enjoy the money. So what is the point? That means you're being a slave to the money, and the money is not freeing you. Unless, like RZA said, he who works like a slave eats like a king. So now, unless you have some kind of futuristic plan as to where you're going to say, okay, well, I'm gonna be a slave for such and such amount of time to where I'm going to set it up to where I ain't never going to have to work another day in my life. And it's going to be at a time where I still have some of my health and some of my youth to where I can enjoy this money that I've been slaving for. You know what I'm saying? Not to where I'm just an old ass man and then basically, that's not to say like, you're not thinking about your children, like all you can do is pass it on to your kids. And another thing too is I be telling brothers about wills and trusts. If you ain't got a will and a trust drawn up, then all that money that you're working for, what you want to do? Keep it in a penny bank or something? Like, come on, man. Let's get real, man. It's 2021. Let's get with the program. Let's understand estate planning. You know what I'm saying? Let's get our affairs in order. Let's stop playing games out here. We out here still playing baby games that our forefathers did. And our people perish due to a lack of knowledge. Being that our forefathers didn't know about wills and trusts, they never kept any wealth in the family, generational, from generation to generation. Had let's say our great grandfather knew about trust and a will, and he had a will in place. Don't you know that being that we're considered state property? See, that's why it says, that's why the Lord's Prayer, all y'all little people quoting that Lord's Prayer, I don't even know what that means. When it says thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, what will is that? Oh, the will of the Father. Okay, well, ain't you a man? You got kids? Then you a father. Stop all this, the Father in heaven stuff. And all that. Yeah, that sounds good. When I see that, so when I see him, then it'll be real. Or when he swooped down here from his busy schedule and tends to the billions of children he has running all over this planet, instead of being a deadbeat dad up in heaven somewhere, and he comes and tends to his children here on earth, then I'll bear witness to that. You know what I mean? But until then, he can keep on. I'll call Maury for him. You know what I'm saying? Maury, we need God to come on the Maury show on some real shit, yo. I'm being sarcastic, man, but real talk, man. Let's be real, right? How come when it comes to so-called, see, this is teaching them 10%. How come the blessing of the poor, they want to teach you all these religious lies to keep your mind all caught up on some mystery in the sky, while you caught up follow the yellow brick road, you following the yellow brick road to the land of Oz to see the wizard. You know what I'm saying? And then you get there and you realize that the goddamn wizard is a man behind the damn curtain with some damn voice projector projecting his voice to be real loud and authoritative, giving fake ass fiat. You understand? So what have these preachers been doing? The same thing. Oh, I'm a prophet. I'm a man of God. God is speaking through me. I'm getting the revelation and I'm telling it to the people. I'm a prophet. Man, you don't get out of here with that bullshit, man. Once again, who is the 10%? You know what I'm saying? The rich, the slave makers of the poor. Those who teach the poor lies to make the people believe that the Almighty God is a spook in the sky and can't be seen with the physical eye. otherwise known as bloodsuckers of the poor. How they sucking your blood? Because you're coming back to church every goddamn Sunday and every Wednesday and every whatever, and if you're a widow woman and they got no damn man at home, or if you're just a lonely ass woman because you listen to all those other lonely ass women up in the church who ain't got no man. You listen to them and now your ass ended up lonely just like they ass, sitting at home reading the goddamn Bible, horny as hell, every goddamn day, going to church to be all up in the preacher face, talking about you trying to praise God through the man. No, it's supposed to be your man at home. Corinthians chapter 14, verse 34, let the women be silent. Let the women be silent in the church, for it is a shame for the women to speak in the church. If anything they desire to learn, let them ask their husbands at home. Ask who? Let them ask their husbands at home. That's Corinthians chapter 14, verse 34. Look it up, y'all. All y'all women up in the church hooping and hollering up in the pastor's face. Anything you desire to learn, let you ask your husband at home. But he probably sitting at home because as a man, he tired of going to the goddamn church, seeing all these fine ass women up in there hooping and hollering for some goddamn man up in the sky who ain't even real. While you at home busting your goddamn ass to put food on the table, clothes on her back, and a roof over the whole family's head, and you just being a slave, taking on the so-called definition of a man. You're supposed to do that. You're a man. Be a man. Fuck out of here with that fake ass definition of a man. That definition of a man is a slave, and you can keep that shit. So I guess I'm not a man. if that's the definition, I guess I'm not that. Call me whatever the fuck you want to call me, but I'm not that. Because y'all definition of a man is a slave. How Chris Rock said, all daddy get is a big piece of chicken. You know what I'm saying? Mothers get praised all year round. Mother's Day, birthdays, Christmas, Valentine's Day, this, that. You don't treat me, buy me some flowers, take me out, All daddy get after busting his goddamn ass all day long, all week long, all year long, being a goddamn a man, a slave, a man, he gets the big piece of chicken in a postcard on Father's Day. Thank you for being a father. We love you so much, and we appreciate everything that you do. And you might get some head that night that you don't even get usually throughout the year round, especially if you married. You know what I'm saying? True talk, man. Facts. You know what I mean? So come on, man. Nah, man, I'm not taking that sucker's deal. If you want to take that sucker's deal, you can take that. You can let your woman 10% you. Because where we learn this from, we fresh out of slavery. You know what I'm saying? We fresh out of slavery. So once again, and like I say, the 10%, especially dealing with the biblical, but like I said, it's not just 10%. It's your drug dealer, it's your pharmacist who's a legal drug dealer. It's anybody trying to sell you. It's these dirty Moors and I say dirty Moors, no disrespect to the true and living Moors. The dirty Moors selling motherfuckers so-called sovereignty packages. $500 and you can get free. Correct your status. And do a UCC1 and do the security agreement and send your birth certificate to Puerto Rico and do this and do that and the 5-step program. And man, fuck out of here with that bullshit, man. Who is the 10%? A motherfucker trying to sell you freedom. You know what I'm saying? Because if you claim to be free, or if you have some kind of package that can somehow get me free, then would you have done this package for yourself? If you out here selling this shit to motherfuckers, wouldn't you have done this for yourself? And shouldn't you also be able to not just sell me this package, but explain this shit to me step by motherfucking step and break this whole shit down to me so I fully understand what I'm doing and what I'm buying into? Instead of you just selling me a dream and be like, yeah, go to court and stand on that. Setting me up for motherfucking failure, have me go in the motherfucking court and say the wrong thing and get locked the fuck up, put me under an evaluation 7:30 or some shit, talking about this nigga crazy, fuck is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Good thing I was wise enough not to fall for that shit, you know what I'm saying? But See, it's happening every day. A fool and money shall depart. So you gotta be wise with your riches. I mean, one day I was out there fucking around with the dudes doing the 3-card boxing shit, or the thing under the cap. Oh, switch it all around. Oh, which one? Man, motherfucker got me for like $300, man. I mean, $100, $100, $100. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there playing the game, getting fooled. You know what I'm saying? And so but you live and you learn. You know what I mean? That shouldn't be much, anyway. Live and you learn. But yeah, so blood sucker to the poor. But at the same time, with a hustle like that, like I started getting tight too. Because I lost $300. So yeah, I'm tight like a motherfucker. So I'm going. I'm like, yo, you fucking some 10% shit. You got shorty on the side. Say she's working with you. You know what I'm saying? They run a game out here. I started exposing the whole operation. I'm doing the knowledge. But meanwhile, I should have did the knowledge before I jumped in the game. See what I'm saying? So whose fault was that? I wisdom knowledge instead of knowledge in the wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I wisdom knowledge instead of knowledge in the wisdom. I put the cart before the horse, like they say. That was my fault, ultimately. You know what I'm saying? So even though I got mad with him and I'm arguing with him and I want my money back, and he gave me some of my money back. He didn't give me all my money back, but at least he gave me some. You know what I'm saying? I respect that. But you know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna fuss, so I was ready to go home and get the motherfucking. No, man, anyway, I was ready to go grab something and come back. But anyway, it wasn't no gun, but I was ready to go get something, man. But anyway, but that would have been my fault. I would have been mad. She knowledge the wisdom, you know what I'm saying? She did the knowledge before I try to, be easily led in the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? Thinking like an 85 or being a savage, in pursuit of happiness. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get that fool's gold. Now they say the 1 to 36, did they receive more gold? Did I receive more gold? Now cipher. The trader disappeared and there was no one to speak the language. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? But like I said, he gave me some of my gold back, but he didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Technically. You know what I'm saying? Rules of the street. That's how the game goes. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to. So I got. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? But fact of the matter is that he was a 10%. And when I started building and exposing that, I was like, yo, God, I hear you. I see the 7. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, yo, I'm Muslim though. See, that's that 10% shit too. See, a lot of brothers that used to be God, you got the Muslims out here talking about, yo, I used to be God. No, nigga, you a 10%. And what you mean to say is you used to be a 5%er because the black man is God eternally. You know what I'm saying? Infinite. There's no beginning or ending to the black man being God. That's always been, always has been, always will be. Allah is God. So it's not that you used to be God. You used to be a 5%er, meaning you may have was under the teachings, and you may used to at one time teach the teachings. You know what I'm saying? But now you don't do that no more. So instead of you teaching the knowledge, you out here manipulating with the knowledge. And you're being a bloodsucker trying to get rich off of the 85% because you know that they don't know any better. You know what I'm saying? So now you out here trying to bloodsuck them. And instead of you using that supreme intelligence you could have used as God to create something for yourself to be sufficient and self-sustaining and be independent, it's like Elijah Muhammad told us, do for self. The Father told him to do the same thing. So instead of you doing that, taking your father's advice, no, you'd rather be a negative, I'm not going to say, black devil, because I don't use that terminology, but, you want to be a negative 10% and bloodsuck the poor because you don't know how to use your supreme intelligence. You rather be conniving and sneaky and manipulative, trying to master the original man. You know what I'm saying? Well, meanwhile, you know who the original man is. You know what I'm saying? So if you're out here trying to master another original man, then you're not being true and living God. You know what I'm saying? So stop all that blood sucking, man. You got a lot of brothers coming in the name, I'm God, I'm Muslim, I'm this and that. But you blood sucking, you're 10%. You just out here trying to finagle somebody, trying to be swift with your words and trying to fool somebody out of something instead of building with your own labor and producing and being productive. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a leech, a bloodsucker, a parasite. You know what I'm saying? A 10%. You know what I'm saying? So like I say, instead of the doctor telling you, eat your vegetables drink a lot of water, exercise, so because you have to sweat the toxins out of your body. Instead of him giving you good advice like that, eat home cooked meals instead of fast food. If you eat pork, fall back from that because that's not good for you. Red meat is bad for your diet. You know what I mean? And all these type of things, meat constipates you, so you're not gonna, so you're backing your system up. They're not gonna tell you none of that. He's gonna tell you, oh yeah, da da da, go to take this prescription and go to Dr. So and so and tell him I sent you. Why? Tell him you sent you. Why? Because don't you know every time a doctor writes prescriptions, he gets a percentage off of that script once it's cashed in. The 10%. He probably gets 10% exactly off of that. And don't they say in the church, don't they tell you, oh, you're supposed to give 10% of your tithes? That's because that's a 10% robbing your ass. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you should give 10% of your earnings. Yeah, it says who? You know what I'm saying? It says the 10%. You know what I mean? He's blood sucking you. You got you coming back to the church, hooping and hollering. He's not going to teach the women any discipline. He's not going to teach the men how to lead their families. He ain't worried about the man leading his family. He want the man to be off point. He want the man to stay home. So your wife can come to church with that sexy ass dress on and be right there front row and sit all up in his face. Oh yeah, preacher, preach on. That's right, that's right. So he could slide on her later on and yeah, sister, come on to the Bible study and yeah, come on and hear the words, sister. And he could slide on your wife and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean? While you sitting at home or you at work somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a sign of what's going on. And these women ain't slick. Oh, I'm sorry, am I giving up the game? Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Yeah, that's what's going on. You trying to blood sucking 10% your man. You know what I'm saying? You learn slavery from the slave masters. They taught us all the slavery, and they used the Bible to enslave us. Right? We was on the plantation picking cotton, but we couldn't learn how to read or write. And if we did, we got hung from the tree or killed, pinched the limb, hung, right? There was a death penalty for you learning any kind of knowledge during slavery while you were on the confines of the plantation. Was this not the same situation in the Garden of Eden, where Adam was confined to the Garden of Eden and he was tilling the land, meaning he was laboring, and he could eat of any of the tree of the Garden of Eden, but the tree in the midst of the garden, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you shall not eat of that tree. The day you eat of that, thou shalt surely die. So if you get knowledge of good and evil, you're going to die. But then the serpent comes along and tells them, oh no, you're not going to surely die. God knows that in the day you eat of that, your eyes are going to be open and you're going to be like them. So then you're going to be like one of the gods to know good and evil. Like it says, behold, for the man has become like one of us to know good and evil. And us is going back to 1 Genesis 1:26. When it says, and God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. Us and our is plural, not singular. So obviously God is not a singular entity. It was plural. Oh, that was the angels. That was Jesus and the Holy Spirit. It don't say that shit. So stop making up shit. It just simply means that it was a plural action. It was more than one God. So it should have said, and the God said, and actually when you translate it to the so-called Hebrew, he says Elohim, and Elohim is plural for gods. More than one God, gods. So the God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. And this is why you have different and various images and various likenesses of various gods. So anyway, I don't know if y'all can put that together like that. It's very, very easy when you understand words. But if you want to believe in the mystery and get elated and hyped up and get gassed up, like, no, I believe in the spirit, I believe in all this spooky fairy tale, hocus pocus stuff, that's on you, man. I mean, hey, to each his own, hey, that's on you, to each his own. But I'm just a grown ass man, and I'm thinking a grown ass mind, and I'm not believing in fairy tale stories anymore, man. Come on, man, I'm a grown ass man. Like, come on, man, you ain't gonna pull that wool over my eyes. You ain't gonna come to me with that. You think I'm gonna believe that? I might as well believe in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I might as well believe in Santa Claus coming down the chimney. God gonna come down from heaven. I guess Santa Claus gonna come down the chimney too. But that ain't never happened. When they said when Jesus was on the cross, his last 7 words was, "My God, why hast thou forsaken me?" And the word forsaken means abandoned or desert. So in translation, or that would be, "My God, why hast thou abandoned me? My God, why hast thou deserted me?" And he cried out. He said, "Yo, I call out in the day and you don't answer. I call out in the night and you don't answer." Like, he's like, "Yo, why have you abandoned me? Why have you forsaken me?" You know what I'm saying? And guess what? So-called God never answered him. But then again, see, now when you get metaphysical with it, you got to understand that God is nature. Because what happened after that? They said the sky cracked, and the seas roared, and the earth trembled, and and all of this. But all this stuff started to happen, and the earth shook, and people miles away could feel this shit. And I guess that was all about the power of God, right? So if you could do all of that, then why don't you just answer this man when he called out on you and said, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" Don't do all this rant, all this earthquaking and sky cracking open and all of that, and the tides, sea roaring and all of this. And like, come on, all of that, man, you could have just simply answered that man, or you could have just simply swooped down there, snatched that man up off that cross that he was dying on, gave him your Holy Spirit, revived him back to life, right? Oh, but he did 3 days later. He ascended. Oh, really? Did he? See, now I done drifted, man. But see, the reason why I drifted is because I got to correct the teaching of the 10%. Because after 5%, I'm all wise. And I don't believe in the teachings of the 10%. You know what I'm saying? I'm all wise to know who the true and living God is. And we teach that the true and living God is the supreme being, the Asiatic black man. You know what I'm saying? The supreme being, the Son of Man. Son of Man, supreme being, Asiatic black man of Asia. So, if we teaching that, the reality of who God is in the flesh, in the reality, not some spook up in the sky, I don't believe in those teachings. If that's what you believe, hey, to each his own. That's what you belie. That's what you believe. That's what you belie. That's what you accept as truth without proof or evidence, just on blind faith, belief in the unseen, which is obviously the unknown. Because to know something, you got to see it with your 2 physical eyes, or at least with your 3rd eye. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't see, now boom, ooh, don't make me to preach. Don't make me start preaching now. They said Jacob walked over the land of Peniel. Peniel is the pineal gland. And he said, and the sun arose and he halted on his thigh. And he said, and he saw God face to face, and his life was preserved. So what is that metaphysically saying? Is that saying that pineal is the pineal gland, meaning he was traveling in the mind? This was a mental journey, a mel trek, a melanated journey. He was traveling in the mind, and the pineal gland, he was mind blown, and he halted on his thigh. Like he had a revelation, an epiphany, like, oh shit, he was mind blown. And it said that he seen God face to face and his life was preserved. Now we know that it's the melanin of the pineal gland, the melatonin secreted from the pineal gland, which secretes all throughout the body, and when shined on by the sun, converts into melanin, preserving our life. So when you break that down metaphysically, Jacob seen God through the pineal gland, the spiritual eye. You understand? And when they say he seen God face to face and his life was preserved, meaning his 3rd eye was open and his life was preserved, because now he was seeing things through the spiritual eye, through the 3rd eye, the all-seeing eye, and he was in tune with the universe, which is Allah, God, the all in all. He became in tune with the universe as that sun shined on his pineal gland, and he was mind blown and he halted on his thigh. You understand? Now ain't that now then I preach that word way better than the goddamn preacher. The preacher would have told you some spooky fairy tale. See, yeah, he saw God and his life was preserved and he walked in the Lord and blah 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 blah. Get out of here with that corny shit. I just broke that shit down. That's what that shit means. You know what I'm saying? Like Elijah Muhammad said, we gotta reinterpret the Bible through the eyes of the original man with the knowledge of self. Because if you don't reinterpret it with the knowledge of self, the knowledge of who you are, and you are the universe. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not seeing it from that perspective, then you're gonna be reading it as a believer and a hoper and a dreamer, and you're gonna be misled into the wrong direction. And when I'm breaking down all this knowledge, and even though it's making sense, and you're like, damn, you ain't breaking that shit down, you still gonna be hard to be led into the right because you hold on with blind faith to your belief system. And you've been accepting something to be true without proof or evidence for so long, and you've been going down this road for so long, even though I'm giving you clear signs that you may be going in the wrong way, you're not going to turn around your 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, however many years you've been believing and going that way. You ain't about to make no detours, no turnaround, no, oh, I forgot the truth at home. You ain't gonna do that. You're gonna keep on following that lie. Most people do. The destroy powers out of the 85%, you know what I'm saying? 85, you got that number 8. You got a 0 and a 0, 2 ciphers. The cipher on top is the build, the cipher on the bottom is the destroy. And then you got 5 with the power. So the 85% can either build with their power or they can destroy with their power. You know what I'm saying? One of the two. You know what I mean? So if you are 85% and you're not in the know, once you come into the know and you get the knowledge of self, then you can either build with that power or you can destroy with that power. You know what I'm saying? One of the two. That's the only choice God has. Build or destroy. There ain't no all that build and destroy. That's incorrect mathematics. And if your mathematics says build and destroy, you need to erase that and put or. That's what it is. Build or destroy. You got brothers out here mixing shit up. See, and that's that 10% mentality. Yeah, dog, let's build and destroy. Y'all build and destroy. And if you put it in proper context and rightly divide all things, and you grammatically put it in context, then yes, you do build and you do destroy, and actually simultaneously. Because as you, like, for example, as you're building on positive, like as I'm telling you the truth and breaking these truths down, it's actually destroying, as the truth of the 5% is destroying the lies of the 10% and breaking down those lies that you've been told, such as some Easter bunny hopping around and laying chocolate chicken eggs, or some Santa Claus coming out of the chimney, or some devil in the ground in a fiery pit in hell. And if you do the wrong thing, if you don't listen and you be bad, you're gonna go down there forever and burn and burn and burn forever and ever. But if you're good, you go up in the sky to heaven with God, and you be there forever and with Jesus and God. And I guess they're just all just sitting around, not even paying attention to anything going on earth. Even though you say you're the father of all humanity, you're being a deadbeat dad right now, God. You know what I'm saying? So come on, you got to find a way where you can reconnect with your children. Just like a man in the physical flesh got to do as well. If you're like, me myself, I'm in the process of doing the same thing. But I'm not going to abandon my children. I'm not going to forsake my children. I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Just because of what my son's mother has done, the devilishment, where she goes and listens to the serpent and try to use the serpent system against me, and be the Eve who bit the apple and listen to the serpent. You know what I mean? And in that sense, I mean by she destroyed the little paradise that we had, the little Garden of Eden that I try to provide for us. You destroyed that by listening to a serpent and thinking that the grass was greener on the other side. You know what I'm saying? And now my son got to grow up in the land of Nod. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but the sins of the father should not be visited upon the sons. You know what I mean? And the sons shall not be put to death for the sins of the fathers, nor shall the fathers be put to death for the sins of the sons. For every man shall be put to death for his own sins. Deuteronomy 16:24. So all these people talk about Jesus died for my sins. Says who? Says where? Where? Somebody else told me this lady earlier. See, man, and it's another thing too, man, with y'all so-called religious women. Y'all always want to use that religion as a game. Now, what she tried to tell me was, oh, we can only, I asked her for a number, whatever. She gonna tell me, oh, only way I can, I can bring you to my church. Okay, so you want to bring this handsome man to your church and try to get some props like, oh, that fake Christian shit, like, oh, I'm bringing somebody to witness, I'm bringing somebody to be saved, I'm saving souls out here. And on top of that, for me to be your little fake temporary wannabe boyfriend and try to show that all these other lonely ass women in the church, like you got some fine young man coming to church with you, like he can snatch you up a little young, listen to you give a fake ass Bible study sermon, young boy or something. Fuck out of here. No, I'm going to get the scripture in her. And she turned away, like, all right, I hear you, thank you for everything, that, yeah. See what I'm talking about? I talk that Bible shit because you think I don't know the scripture. But when I start dropping that scripture on your ass, now your ass is running away because you ain't really about that life. And you ain't really about that shit. So when I started dropping shit on you, such as what I just dropped, did my shit about, see, but I believe that Jesus Christ died for my sins. Translation, I'm going to put my responsibilities on, I believe in putting in my responsibilities off on some man who died 2,000 years ago. So I don't ever have to take responsibility for my own actions. So I can keep on sinning Monday through Saturday and then go to church on Sunday, pray to Jesus and be forgiven for all my sinning. Yeah, that's what I believe in. Yeah. So actually, since I hear that you actually know the word, which is to actually know God, because to know the word, to know God is to know the word, right? Because in the beginning was the word was with God, and the word was God, right? So being that I actually know the word, I actually know God. Not that fake ass relationship you talking about you have with Jesus. And really what initially what I dropped on her was, I dropped on her about how I said, okay, now listen, because you know what? Because like I said, I put truth over conviction any day. So I don't care how fine you was. I was not about to hold back my truth and submit to your bullshit just to go to church with you thinking I'm gonna get some ass in the future. I could have did that, you know what I'm saying? But that would be me trying to 10% you, me trying to blood suck you, me knowing the truth and withholding the truth for my own personal gain. And I wasn't gonna do that. And there's been many, and sometimes I'm like, man, just shut the fuck up and get the pussy, Messiah. That's what you wanted in the first place. Nigga, keep it real. You wanted the pussy, nigga. Don't lie. Like, just do that. No, because I'm true. So even though I may have been physically attracted to I may acknowledge her powers, I may acknowledge her attraction powers, but I'm not going to be on some 10% shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to blood suck you for my own personal whatever. So anyway, see, like I said, when we trying to use that dividing shit with Jesus, see, and I said, okay, so man, don't you know the scripture says that God is the head of Christ, Christ is the head of man, man is the head of the woman, woman is the head of the child. So if you're trying to control anybody, I didn't say that part, but basically, sidebar, if any woman trying to control somebody or be the head of anybody, that's your damn children, not the man. So stop trying to act like you the goddamn Virgin Mary. No, goddamn well, you done slept with plenty of men in your lifetime. You ain't no virgin. So stop acting like you the Virgin Mary, like you gonna hold this religious sword over my head, like I gotta live to your standard of righteousness. Man, I'm righteous, sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? And I had explained that shit to her. Like, I live this shit. I'm more in tune with Christ than your average monk, walking around. So she's like, yeah, exactly. So how you sitting here fronting on me? Which means that you ain't real about that shit. So like I said, but she would have had me come to her church for her own little 10% bragging rights. You know what I'm saying? And for trying to act like, oh yeah, I'm saving souls. I brought somebody here. I was out there ministering the word. Yeah, right. You wasn't ministering shit. Because when I ministered to your ass, you ran the fuck away from me. See what I'm saying? Okay, I hear you, but all right, I have to go. Yeah. But if I would have sat there and listened to that bullshit you wanted to kick, then yeah, you would have sat there all damn day with that shit. Thinking I was going to submit like 7, was going to submit to 6. No, Shimmy, it don't go that way. I don't revolve around the earth revolves around me. So get it right. So anyway, so when I dropped that on, so basically I told that, so basically, so when you talk that, women be talking that, oh, I have a personal relationship with Christ and all of that, you can't have no relationship with Christ or God unless you go through the head of man. Because man is the head of woman. Christ is the head of man. And God is the head of Christ. According to that scripture, according to that theology. So for all y'all church-going Bible thumpers out there trying to use that religion shit to really not get with a brother who's trying to, get with you, you want to use that religion shit to try to create a division. And that's exactly what it is. Division. Religion equals division. So I don't subscribe to that. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a Jew, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Buddhist, I'm a Christian, I'm a this, I'm a that. As soon as we use these labels, now we all divided. Man, I'm a black man, I'm an original man. And I see you, black woman, I'm speaking to you, sister. It is simple just like that. Black man and woman, we brother and sister originally, you know what I'm saying, from the earth. Mother Earth and Father Sky, which is the universe. So why ask why? You know what I'm saying? When it's all in the mind's eye. But anyway, so that's reality. So like I said, man, when I started hitting with that scripture, oh, she was ready to peel out then. You wasn't ready for that because the reality of the matter is that, and even before I was gonna say it, she tried to cut me off. I said, yeah, you know where I'm about to go, and you try to interrupt me because you don't really feel that way. You ain't really felt that life. You don't really feel that way. You don't respect the man as your head. So like I said, you can't talk about having no relationship with God unless you have a relationship with the man. Unless you respect the man as your head, and he respects Christ or God as his head, then his head becomes your head, and your head becomes the child's head. So if he's taking on the divine instruction from God, and you're taking on the divine instruction from the man, then you pass on the divine instruction on to the children. That's the godly order of things, according to that, paradigm, that doctrine. You know what I mean? So stop all of this taking it out of context shit, man. You can, as a woman, you cannot have a relationship with Christ or God unless you go through the head of the man. That's what your Bible tells you. Don't overlook it. You can't overlook it. You're not going to overlook it. Not in my presence. So any woman trying to come to me talking that Bible shit, that's the first thing. That's the first scripture I'm going to give your ass. That's the first thing I'm going to tell you, to put you in your place. And realize that I am your head. I am the intelligence that guides you. You don't guide me. What I look like letting a woman guide me. And that's not me being sexist or chauvinistic. That's me being real and being a grown-ass man and knowing that as a young man, I may have did that. And as a little boy, I listened to my mother. My mother guided me as a little boy. But as a grown-ass man, as I got older and older, I didn't have to listen to mommy as much. You know what I'm saying? I started to do for myself. I started to be able to handle things for myself and become mature and responsible. That's the circle of life. Told you in a Lion King, like, God damn, they need a cartoon to tell you this shit. It's basic shit. Why y'all trying to make it complicated? Anyway, y'all, I'm out of here, y'all. I've been going long enough, man. You know what I'm saying? Today's degree was 210%. So beware, man. Be aware of these bloodsuckers. Going to bloodsuck your time, your energy, your conversation, your money, whatever the case may be, trying to sell you something. Always want to talk about this, that, and third, but they ain't really about that life. They want to talk about nation building, but they only there when it's about making some money. You know what I'm saying? That's who the 10% are. You know what I'm saying? And I built with a older guy one time, and I broke it down to him. And I was like, yeah, man, we got an 85. Like I heard it before too, and I understand. There's an 85% and 10% and a 5% within the 5%. Medium. 85% of the 5%. And correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of brothers just going through the motions. Peace, God. What's today's mathematics? The quote the degrees. Da 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 da. They think that's just the protocol. They just going through the motions. 10% ain't really about this culture. They just here to make some kind of profit. Maybe here to come in the name of God, get a fancy name, and then go back out into the 85% world, trying to master original people, using mathematics as a tool. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that they sound fly with this mathematics, or thinking that they know what the people don't know, but they ain't teaching them. That's when you become a 10%. When you got knowledge and you ain't teaching it, and you 10%, and you blood sucking. You know what I'm saying? And you're not keeping it real. So, you know what I'm saying? Don't come to me with all of that, all that bullshit. No, bro, because I know, and I know. And that's why when brothers stop fucking with you, because they know that you know. And they know that you ain't afraid to speak that truth and expose their ass if need be. Because anybody I see 10% with any kind of information, whatever this may be, I'm gonna expose your ass because the 10% to me, y'all my enemy. You know what I'm saying? And not all of you, because remember, like I said, I broke down about the positive 10%. You know what I'm saying? So I gave another light in the sense that, like I said, you got some people out here that's out to make a profit for themselves, but at the same time, they might be producing something that's positive, for the majority. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, you might got brothers or sisters or somebody that's selling flags or selling crowns or selling whatever, and they may not really be about this nation like that. Like they probably ain't even teach their own kids this information. But yet you come into parliament and you selling this, that, and third, you make money in the name of this nation, you know what I mean, to enrich yourself. You know what I mean? But you ain't giving nothing back. You know what I mean? So that's blood sucking. That's 10%. You know what I mean? And like I said, it comes in many different forms, ways, shapes, and forms, and fashions. So you got to be aware. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just a preacher in the church. It's a goddamn doctor trying to sell you some bullshit. It's a teacher trying to teach you some bullshit. It's a drug dealer in the community trying to sell you some bullshit, get you hooked on some bullshit. It's anybody that's trying to give you some glamorous story that sounds good, and then you hear them contradict themselves 5 minutes fucking later, or you don't see them show prove on what they say, trying to get you allured into their, caught up in their wordplay and what sounds good, but no production comes from it. They're trying to blood suck you. So understand and be aware of that, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be righteous, man. You gotta be aware, you gotta be wise so that you don't get taken advantage of. You got a lot of people out here taking advantage of people, man. And, like I said, if you ask them to help you with something, you hear crickets. But when it comes to them selling you something, oh man, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that, I got the whole shebang, I got everything you need. Oh, what you need? What you need? Oh, yo, I got that. You got everything in the world now. When it comes to selling somebody something, when it comes to helping somebody out, maybe a family, somebody who has a family, and maybe somebody that's trying to do something for themselves and trying to help themselves, and all they may need is some knowledge. Like Hosea 4:6 says, our people perish due to a lack of knowledge. Maybe all they need is some knowledge, and you got all this knowledge, and all you got to do is maybe send an email, a click of a damn button, and send some knowledge to someone like I do all the damn time, and send knowledge to someone. It's that simple. And you can just simply help this person without looking for a way to enrich yourself in the situation or out of the situation. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, when you only want to do that, I'm not saying that it's wrong for a person to get paid for their services. And let me clarify this. I don't believe in selling knowledge. I say, for example, if I'm a web designer, you know what I'm saying? For example, now, unless like I'm saying, like unless like I design some kind of app and I'm selling you like the blueprint to my app or something that I designed and created or something, then yeah, that would be selling my knowledge, in a sense. But it'd be something that I created. I'm not gonna take knowledge that's been created by someone else, package it up some kind of way, and sell it to you. Because that's me now profiting off another man's information. And it wasn't my own information. Or even if my information was based upon this other man's information, at least it was my own interpretation of the information. But just to sell someone else's information that's not even yours, you have no copyright to that. You have no right to do that. So that's you now making a profit off of someone else's information. That's being a jewel thief. You know what I mean? Like Alex Haley. Did y'all know the story of Roots? Alex Haley did not write that story. You know who really wrote that story? A woman by the name of Sophia Stewart. She's also the same woman who wrote the movie The Matrix, and she also wrote the movie The Terminator and other great movies as well. Look that up. Look up the controversy over that. Alex Haley and the movie Roots and the court case and controversy over that. How he got sued and all of that for stealing that storyline and all that. You know what I'm saying? Not giving proper homage to where he got it from and so forth. Or cutting the check, you know what I'm saying, to where he got it from and all that. You know, so now later on, after he got sued, he went back and did those things and all that. But anyway, that was some 10% shit. Howard Haley stealing that story and profiting from it. You know what I'm saying? Knowing damn well that wasn't your information. So, you know, but yet he made the story Roots, which is a legendary movie for all black people to see. And he made millions of dollars off of this, or however much he made off of this series or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and all of that. And he profited off of it, off of our so alleged history, which was actually a converted history from a woman's story, you know, and they made it seem like that was our whole history as black people. Actually, that was only pertaining to a particular family. You know what I mean? But anyway. So yeah, I've been going on. I'm going in 2 hours on this shit. For the true watchers that truly watch, y'all gonna get this real information. Y'all gonna be wiser to know better instead of the ones with the short attention span with the 15-second TikTok. Oh, that wasn't funny. I don't want to watch this. Those who click the channel, you the motherfuckers that's gonna get taken advantage of because you don't do the knowledge to nothing. You want anything that's fast, microwave, ha, 10 to 15 seconds. If it don't grab your attention span, you don't want to hear it, ass motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So, due to your ignorance and your lack of knowledge, you're the 85er who gets taken advantage of. Or the 10%er out there trying to 10% somebody and fuck around and get 10%ed by another 10%er who's sharper than you. You know what I'm saying? Because I done seen it. Listen, man, I done seen so many situations, man. I done seen shit where motherfuckers just trying to be on some snake shit and the other motherfucker trying to be on some snake shit, and then the motherfucker who thought he was slick got out slicked by a craftier serpent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done seen the shit, you know what I'm saying, right before my eyes. And I don't step into the 10% business. That's y'all business. Hope that nigga learn from it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna come and tell you, oh, you fucked up on your 10% move, nigga. You was supposed to bust out that nigga before he got you. Oh, you were supposed to lie to him before he lied to you. Because that ain't my business. I'm gonna tell you, I might tell you, if I see that you got taken advantage of but you wasn't on the same shit, I might have gave you the benefit for the dollar. Yo, friend, that nigga, man, gave on you, man. You supposed to keep how he said, I'll make some shit out for you. But if I see that you was just on the same slick and you just got out slick, oh well, motherfucker, learn on your own. That's if your slick ass kid trying to be slick and your ass got sluck. If there's such a word, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know. So anyway, but yeah, man, I'm out of here, man. I don't think go 2 hours long with this shit. I ain't going on too long. And it's exactly 120 now. Just turned 20. So anyway, but y'all, peace, man. Good night, y'all, man. You know what I mean? Y'all stay awoke, man. Keep the third eye open out there, man, and all that good stuff, man. You know what I mean? In the name of the gods of earth, peace to the wise, peace to the unwise, peace to the civilized, peace to the uncivilized. Because we're gonna meet somewhere in the middle. And may the peace with the magnetic prevail. Peace.